are watching Faith World TV. Faith World TV, changing the world with the Word of God.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are around the world. It's me, Mavis Amankwa. We are back Wednesday, 1:30 GMT for the Business and Community Matters show. Really good to see you. And last week was the first introduction to this show. And it's really great to see you all again. Just recapping on last week, if you remember, it was all about accessing funding. So if you are a community interest company, social enterprise, a charity, a ministry, or you want to work within the community and you want some funding, get in touch with me on this show. So I gave you loads of tips last week. I hope you did your homework, and I will be sharing some more information towards the end of the show in regards to accessing funding. Or maybe you just want some business tips and ideas. You want to do something that's different, outrageous. Maybe you want to sort out your marketing. How about your social media? So much to do in the life of working within the community, within business, and within ministry. So, hello once again. As always, each week I bring you the best. Great topics, great news, great information. And today I'm going to be having a conversation with an amazing business lady and entrepreneur who has been running business for many years, and she's going to be telling us more about her very soon. But just remember, every Wednesday I am here. If you want to know more, if you want to send in some information, you want to ask questions, feel free to email me, business@mavisamankwa.com, or you can go to www.mavisamankwa.com and you can get all the information about what I do and what I do with my team and how we can help you. Anyway, moving on. I love when I have guests, especially guests that are mothers, that are Wonder Women, that do so many things. As women, we are on the rise in business, in community, and we are always striving for the best. So I'm so happy to introduce to you Glory Amawambo, and she is the CEO, MD of Glory Edward Nutrition. Hello.
Thank you so much, Mavis, for having me today. It's really nice to meet you for the first time.
Yes, well, please introduce yourself to everybody.
Okay, my name is Glory Amayamvo, and the name of my business is Glory Edward Nutrition Limited.
Great, and what does your business do?
Glory Edward Nutrition, we focus on women's health. We help women to get better. I believe that women should take care of themselves more. Because whilst I was working full-time before I started my business, I really didn't have time for myself. I would eat lunch at the desk, not going to lunch or anything. But, I started to have lots of issues, and I decided, you know what, I need to take care of myself. And I also need to encourage other women. And then I started to find out that food does help you to heal your body. So that's what I decided to do to help other women like myself, busy women working full time and also taking care of kids.
Great. Well, thank you. And what about the men? Hopefully the men can also get some nutrition too. I think it's important, right?
I do help men, but I focus on women.
Okay.
But of course, I believe that, when you help the woman, she will always bring the husband. So that's my policy.
Very true.
Yes.
Well, really good to have you on here today. And I'd just like to know a little bit about what made you start business and how long have you been running business for?
I've been running business for a long time. I first started helping people set up their own business because I used to be a teacher. So I used to help my students set up their business, create websites and stuff. So I helped a lot of colleagues, set up their own business, do all this stuff. But I never really got paid for it. And then I decided that, I wanted to do something that I was really passionate about. So I decided to start this nutrition business. But the reason why I did it was because I had so many health issues.
Okay.
One of it was acne. I had acne at old age. So I had to go to the doctors quite a lot because I was in so much pain, blood and all sorts of things. So I was given medication and I was told that this medication could damage your organs.
Wow.
And so I decided, I don't want anything to done wrong, because I needed to find out the right things to take to make sure that my organs are not damaged. So I started to research what foods can I eat, what things can I do to help my health. And that's how it started. And I also had dry skin. And so I had to find products that would make my skin not itch or anything like that. Yeah.
Great. Do you know what I love when people start a business? Most people start a business or an initiative or a project or a campaign out of their own lived experience. And we're hearing from Glory that from her lived experience, she has managed to turn her lived experience, her passion, what she really, was something that was really bothering her, her health, her skin and so forth, into a business to help others. So well done. Congratulations. So how long's the business been going?
Since 2001. That's when it started. That's when it started.
And what's the actual the actual services or products that you provide? Please share with us.
Okay, so we do meal plans for people that want to change. So if you had diabetes, for example, we could do your meal plan for a month or 7 days.
Okay, so meal plans is one.
So meal plans, we do body scans. So we scan your body to find out your deficiency with minerals, vitamins. People are obviously deficient in vitamins. So when I do the scan, we check your blood, we check your heart, your kidneys, your liver, your lungs, and all the things, all the organs basically we check. Also, we do ready meals as well. We do ready meals. Yeah.
And the ready meals, why do you do the ready meals?
For people that don't like to cook. Well, for the ready meals, for example, that is where the men come in. So the men, obviously, that don't like to cook, single men would obviously patronize me. So, yeah.
Great.
That's it.
And when we're looking at busy people, I mean, I'm a busy person. I'm everywhere. I'm running a business, running a home, running a family, helping the community, and just always on the go. And sometimes, I remember many years ago, it was probably about 20 years ago, I caught, or maybe about 25 actually, I caught something called shingles, and it actually made me stop and say, check out yourself. So for busy people like myself, can you give us some tips when it comes to either nutrition or detoxing ourselves? Give us about 3 tips that we can do as busy people every day. I mean, everyone's busy. All of us are busy. But how can we, look after ourselves at the same time? Obviously, we need to slow down because that's really important. We've just come from the Easter break, which is great. Gives you time to rejuvenate, renew, and refresh. But please give us some tips.
The first thing I would say to anyone is that sleep. Sleep is very important. The second thing I would say is drink lots and lots of water. I'll use myself as an example. I like to do that.
Of course.
When I am dehydrated, how I know is that I have headache at the back of my head. So if you are having headache and you think, oh, you're almost having headache, one of the reasons why is because you are dehydrated. Your body is just trying to give you a sign that you are dehydrated. So drink lots of water. People say to me, well, I drink 2 liters of water. I always say to you, try to push it to 5 liters. And one tip I always say to people, don't sip the water from the bottle, just drink the bottle one time. That does help in terms of making sure that you've had enough water into your system. The first thing I would say to you is, in terms of drinking water, make sure you drink water at the beginning of the day. So when you wake up first thing, before you go to the toilet, drink water. And then before you leave your house, drink another bottle of water. At least you've had your 1 liter. And then drink water throughout the day. So plan your water. Drink water before you eat as well. And the last and final thing I wanted to say in terms of detoxing is try your best to make sure your phones are far, far away from your body, from your bed. People watch their phone, watching stuff, and that happens. So those are the 3 things I would like to say, because people go into detox. It's very good to do detox at least twice a year, where you're fasting or you do intermittent fasting and all that sort of stuff. But when you do all those things, take all those products, if you're not sleeping, you're not drinking water, and you have your phones around, it does cause a lot of problems. So you're not going to get the benefits of all the things that you're doing if you're not resting. So rest definitely helps in terms of detoxing.
Great, thank you. Well, you've heard it. For busy people like myself and everybody else, sleep, number 1 key. We need to sleep. And you know what I find really interesting? When she talks about water, you never hear anybody saying you are drinking too much water. It's like you can just drink water as much as you want. So definitely remember, it's all about making sure that you drink water. And one of the sins of this world, technology, the phones, they're just in our hand. They're at our fingertips. They're all around us. So it's been able to keep away from them phones, turn them off, and make sure that you follow some of these guides as well. Make sure you follow these guides as well. So, I understand you have a present for me. I love presents.
So I love presents. Me today. I've got a mini present for you. One, a sea moss. I'm sure you've heard about sea moss and the sea moss thing.
So this is for busy people like me. So we've
so
got
you can have
sea moss here. So we've got some organic Irish sea moss. So first of all, let's go through the, obviously we're talking about business. We're talking about busy people. So this is a business product in terms of selling and also health. So tell us a little bit about Irish moss. What does that do?
Oh, it helps with your hair, it helps with your skin. It also helps to coat your gut for people that have gut issues, people that really, really want to put a lot of nutrients in their body. That it's got 96 minerals. So you're taking in 96 minerals just by taking sea moss. And you can add it to your smoothie, you can add it to oats, you can add it to juice, you can add it to whatever. You can just soak it, blend it, and put it in the fridge and take it 1 teaspoon every day.
Ooh, yes. There you go. Busy person, make sure you go for that Irish sea moss. Yes, thank you so much. Thank you. So I need to start this one as soon as possible. Great, thank you.
I've also got the vitamin E oil.
Okay, tell me a little bit about the vitamin E oil.
That's the one I use for my face because I try my best not to use anything that's got chemicals. So I use vitamin E oil, and I also take it as well as a supplement. So
you can drink this one?
You can drink that one. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So this is a vitamin E oil, so I can put it on my face.
Very
and I can
skin.
also drink it. So how much would you drink though?
Just 1 tablespoon.
Okay.
1 teaspoon.
Okay, 1 teaspoon. Okay,
every day,
so
morning.
Everybody in the next 6 weeks, just look and see if I'm going to be glowing. Just see what's going to be happening. And make sure you send me your comments and your feedback. So we've got the organic vitamin oil, another gift for me, thank you.
And this one is the rice mask.
Rice mask, never heard of rice mask, ladies and gentlemen.
It's very good if you have dry skin. It's good to brighten your complexion. It also draws out toxins. So when you put it on, you just mix it with a tiny bit of water, apply it on your face, leave for 15 minutes. Your face starts to get really bright. And it does take out toxins. So, yeah.
Okay, so this is taking out toxins. We've got the rice mask. So, as I said, keep watching and see how I glow over the next few months. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
It's those lovely items that you've got for me. So I've got 3 lovely items. I'm really, really happy about that. So she's given us some information on how we can look after ourselves and, make sure that even though we're busy, that we are also ensuring that we are looking after ourselves internally and externally, and also taking the right things, because sometimes it's about the right advice, getting the right advice and knowing what to take, what's good, what's not good, and what everything is doing. So, but I believe all of these products here definitely have benefit. So before we talk a little bit more about business, because I want to ask you some questions about business, and please share with us, how do we get in contact with you if people want to buy
I'm on Instagram, Gloria.Nutrition. I've also got a YouTube channel where I record different things about how you can make yourself better. I've done videos on arthritis, diabetes, blood pressure, lupus. So if you have any of those issues, you can find lots of useful information that will help with your situation. So normally when I do the videos, I always include exercise that you can do. I include the foods that you can eat, foods especially that you have to avoid. Definitely, I include that in the videos that I do, and a lot of information that you probably do not know about.
Okay, great. And talking about exercise, that's another one.
Okay.
What kind of exercise can we do?
I think the best exercise for busy people is walking.
Walking?
Yes. For many people, they drive or they take Uber these days, but,
True.
Try your best to, if you do take the bus or the train, get off maybe a little bit farther from where you're going, so you can have at least 10 minutes walk, or wake up early and do your prayer walk, like I would like to say, go walk around 2 streets. If you do that every day, you will definitely lose a little bit of weight.
And also stay healthy as well, which is good.
Yeah.
Okay,
so that's the best
great.
exercise, because lots of people pay for the gym and they never go to the gym. So walking is the best one. Just walk, your street and then the next street. If you do 5 minutes every day, it will help.
Great. Well, there you have it. She's given us loads of tips on detoxing, staying healthy, exercising, keeping those phones away and getting some sleep, as well as drinking loads of water. So after the show, I'm going to be really just gulping down the water and making sure I take loads of it, because you're right, it's about dehydration and making sure that we are hydrated. So thank you so much for that. So you've shared all your details. So I just want to talk a little bit about business, because this is the business and community show with myself, Mavis Amankwa, and there's loads of people that are watching, and a lot of people are thinking about doing business, looking at what they can do, whether it's having a job, a part-time job, and running a business. Can you tell us how it was for you starting a business? Was there any challenges that you had along the way?
I think with anything, there's always challenges. One of the challenges that you get first is your family telling you, oh my God, why do you want to do this? You have to work, you have to get a job, you have to have steady income. I think you have to know what your vision is. You have to know, sometimes for people that are Christians, you have to know what God has told you. And if you have that backing, you don't need to worry. But for challenges, obviously financial, there's always a lot of things that you need to do with finances. But like I say to new people that are trying to start business, you don't really need finance. The first thing, you need to know what you want to do. You need to know your target audience. You need to think about how you're going to promote yourself. Lots of people say, oh, I don't like to be in front of the camera. Then you're not ready, because that's one thing that you need to do to promote your business. Word of mouth does sell, I think. And, if you do good service, give good customer service, you will definitely get people coming to do stuff with you.
And what about business planning? Do you feel that, people always say, oh, maybe should I have a business plan? Is it essential? What's your views on that?
I think it's very essential that you have a business plan. I know these days people say, oh, you don't need a business plan anymore. You definitely need a business plan, not just for today, even 2025, you need a business plan. The reason why, because I've met a lot of people. I was speaking to a lady last week, and she said, oh, she wants to do a business, wedding planner. And I said, who are the people that you want? And she said, oh, she just has a passion for it. I said, okay, so what's the name? She's had the name for 2 years, So I said to her, do you know what, do me a pitch deck, tell me all the different things that you want to do, your competitors, how you're going to market. She said, oh, no, she hasn't thought about that yet. Oh. And I was like, wow, you're not ready. She said, oh, no, I need you to hold my hand and tell me what to do. I said, well, I'm not ready to do that, because it's your business. You need to find out what other people are doing, see if it's something you can. She said, I want to do business, but I don't want to make so much money. I just want to do it as a side hustle.
Okay.
So if you're thinking of doing business and not taking it seriously, I would advise you to just stick to your 9-to-5 job.
Exactly, because
business plan is something that you need to do, and it's a working document. It's not a document that is permanent for life. It's something that you keep changing, you keep adding more stuff. When I started my business, I started off just doing, advising people and stuff. But now, we've come up with products. We're doing scans. We're going to different cities. 2 weeks ago, I was in Oxford. So again, you do different things. You do talks. You just have to keep telling people the things. And you have to have your story. I think lots of people say you have to have your story. So yeah, that's my tip.
Wow, I love that. This is a real serious entrepreneur. She knows her stuff, and she's given the best advice. And sometimes that's what we need. We need good advice. We need to have role models that can help us along the way. I always say to people, get yourself a mentor, get yourself a coach that can guide you, and also just, be there and support, because would you agree with me? Business is quite a lonely world,
It
right?
is. Business is not like 9-to-5. So you definitely will have to put in the extra hours. I think for me, sometimes I go to bed late because there's so much to do.
You need to be sleeping.
I know. But I'm saying, why I'm saying that is that if you're planning to do business, it's not like 9-to-5.
True.
You have to discipline yourself to say, you know what, after 6 o'clock, I stop. And that's what I'm doing now. After 6 o'clock, I say to myself, I'm not doing anything to do work, so I can do other things. So again, but for the first few weeks, few months, you will definitely be going over that time to make sure that everything is right, contacting suppliers, lots of things that you have to do in business. So it is.
Good.
It is a long
and the
road.
fact that you've been going for, over 5 years, they say that most businesses, 1 in 5 businesses will fail within 5 years. That is research, that is statistics. So it's good to see that you're still, well, not that you're still going, that you're continuing to grow, starting off on services, advice, now you're doing products. So congratulations to you. And just before we finish off our interview today, you're talking about women. Yeah. And women, it can be very difficult for us when we want to start business. Maybe we've got some ideas. We get, nervous. We're not sure. Have you got any tips for a woman that's at home this afternoon, this evening, wherever she is, that wants to start? Have you got any tips for her?
I think the first thing is to follow your passion. So if you like sewing, that's the business for you. If you like cooking or baking, that's the business that you need to start from. And then all the other ideas that you have rolling around, write them down and be very clear what you want to do. Research and what other people are doing. Research the things that, you would like to add to your business. You might not do them now, but you would probably do them in future. Yeah.
Okay, so there you go. You have to go for your passion. You have to do what you want. And do you believe getting a mentor and a coach is important?
I think so. I think you have to have a coach for life and a mentor for life. And also don't be afraid to pay someone to mentor you. I think it's very important that you pay someone, because then it's not like if you don't pay someone, you don't get, but then they go all out for you. They give you the best things. They give you tips. And for those people that are looking for free things, I think the world of free is where we
exactly. You get
so
what you
please,
pay for.
Contact Mavis for help, but please pay as well.
And just before we wrap up, you are a mother.
Yes.
So how do you juggle it all? Family, motherhood. How did you do it? I mean, I'm not sure how old your kids are, but when you first started, did that stop you, or was there a reason? Was you thinking about the kids? How's it been for you?
To be honest, if I tell you a little bit of myself, I was a teacher for 14 years in college, so I was a business teacher, and so I put everything on hold for my son. And then when he got older, I felt like, okay, now I can do something. So I only started in the business in 2021.
Okay.
But before that, I put everything on hold. So I was always writing books, writing all the things I wanted to in books. And then when obviously now he's 17, so now he can do things for me, help me with, the back end, do some stuff to do with the accounts and stuff. Then now
technology?
Yes.
Is he good at technology?
No, they are very good. I think it's a natural for them.
Exactly, it comes natural.
So they're very natural.
Okay, so for the mums as well, there is also the opportunity where you can juggle the family, you can juggle the children, and you can actually fulfill your dream. One thing I always say is, I love the quote from Michael Jordan that says, "I'd rather die trying than not trying at all." And I think sometimes as women, as people, we do get that kind of nervousness. We're not sure if we want to do it. And sometimes people can really kind of detract us, which you were speaking about earlier. So how do you overcome something like that, where someone's saying to you, look, I don't think you could do it, especially if it's someone that you love and someone that you trust? I mean, you as you said, you had those kind of remarks, and now where they can see. Do you remember those days when people were saying to you, oh yeah, maybe you can or maybe you can't, but have they seen you now and seen how you've flourished and grown?
Yes, many close friends, because my background is in law, and many of my friends said, so you've left all these things and you are now going to do business on your own. It's very hard. And because I started just around COVID, it's a harder time when, money is sharp for lots of people. So people keep telling you, business, you have to make the money. But I think one of the things that's really helped me is God. I constantly pray to God for help. And I also pray to God to bring good people my way. I've met a lot of suppliers, lots of people, don't be afraid to ask for help. And don't be afraid to contact organizations if you need their products or services. They are not going to bite you. They will help if they can.
Right, there you go.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to ask for help. See, sometimes as Christians, we're always praying and saying, look, God, just make it happen for me. And, we're there spiritually, but we need the physical too. We need to do the physical. We need to go and get, and we need to make sure that we bring the right people on board. who know what they're doing, that can advise you and help you grow. Because it's not easy. So I want to say thank you so much for joining the Business and Community Matters show with myself, Mavis Amankwa. Just before we go, please, can you just share your details with us again?
Okay. The name of the business is Glory Edward Nutrition Limited, and the website is gloryedward.co.uk. And the number to call me on is 027 175 5108.
Great, thank you. Well, I've got my rice mask, my vitamin E oil, and I've got my Irish moss. So, as I said, just keep watching. So, thank you so much, Glory, for joining me. And thank you to everybody that has managed to watch today. I hope you found it informative and you're going to be taking away some tips. Remember, I'm going to be back here next week, Wednesday, live, 1:30 GMT on the Business and Community Matters show with myself, Mavis Amankwa. Remember, if you're looking for funding, you want to grow that business, you've got a project you want to really kickstart and you want some advice, you want some tips, you want some guidance, you want some support, you need to come on here and watch, or you can be in contact with me at mavisamankwa.com. You can go onto our website and find out more about what we do. But we are here to help you to grow, to make a difference, to make a change. So from me today, I just want to say thank you so much, and I'll see you next week.
You are watching Faith World TV. Faith World TV, changing the world with the Word of God.